Not sure why, but I've been kind of obsessed with cozy horror games lately. I went down a rabbit hole trying to figure out why they work, and it turns out it's not really about being scared. It's about the mystery, meaning that intense need to find out what's happening while the atmosphere gets darker. So today, we are ranking 10 cozy horror games, from barely creepy to deeply unsettling. I also put together a full list with even more cozy horror games, which you can find linked below. This is the coziest thing on the list by far. You run a cafe, serve hot drinks, and your customers happen to be vampires, monsters, and ghosts. The whole point is making these terrifying guests comfortable by brewing coffee to their specific tastes. There is no creeping darkness here. The horror is purely an aesthetic. You are completely in control the whole time, which is sometimes exactly what you want. Think a creepy version of Pokémon Snap. You ride automated rails through an abandoned wildlife park, taking photos of strange, charming creatures that look just slightly off. The game never explains what happened to the park or why it's empty. You're just there to document things, and that subtle mystery keeps pulling you forward. You're in a house in the dark woods, cooking for cryptids to unlock new rooms. It looks like a standard cozy loop, except the instruction manual casually mentions that your kitchen pan can be used for self-defense during a kitchen emergency. The game just proceeds like nothing happened. The wrongness is threaded into the background, and you keep cooking because you want to see what's behind the next locked door. If you enjoy analyzing games like this, you would probably land in one of the rarest cozy gamer archetypes. The quiz is linked below if you haven't taken it yet. You just input 6 of your favorite games and it breaks down your specific player profile. You're the new mayor of a haunted ghost town, and your job is to turn it into a thriving community for your monster constituents. The mystery is built right into the premise. Why is this town haunted, and what happened to these creatures? The game feeds you answers slowly through the relationships you build, keeping you hooked the same way a good TV show does. This is basically a Tim Burton movie as a video game, following two souls navigating eerie, dark levels to find the sun. It's gothic but incredibly warm, with no real threats. Heavily stylized worlds like this work so well because your brain knows it's operating on fantasy rules. It keeps you at the perfect distance. You are close enough to feel the atmosphere, but far enough that your defenses stay down. This is a space exploration mystery, but it earns its spot because of how it handles the unknown. You are exploring a solar system full of secrets on a time loop. The dread is a byproduct of your own curiosity. The sun is going to explode, you are incredibly small, and something massive lives in the fog of the ocean planet. But you go there anyway, because you just have to know what it is. The Steam page calls this a quaint fishing game, completely leaving out the part where the water twists at night. Your catch has too many eyes, and the fog hides things that are definitely not boats. What makes Dredge work is its relaxing daytime loop. Then it introduces slight aberrations that nobody comments on. You start sailing a little later each evening because you want to understand the horror, not just survive it. Now we're firmly in horror territory. You're a detective at a remote Irish manor in 1897, investigating a missing woman right before a grand séance. The mystery structure gives you a legitimate reason to explore, so the dense, shadowy dread feels entirely earned. Unlike the others, this has a ticking clock and real stakes. Here, the balance tips completely. You play as a tiny child in a yellow raincoat trying to escape a vast vessel full of grotesque monsters. The curiosity is still there, because you want to know what this place is, but the dread is the entire experience. Other games use darkness to pull you forward, but Little Nightmares uses it to close in on you. It's exactly where cozy horror ends and straight-up horror begins. On the surface, Grunn is a first-person gardening sim in a quiet Dutch village. You tend a garden and chat with neighbors, but tiny details start going wrong. The game keeps you in your routine while the unsettling clues accumulate around you until you realize you've completely forgotten about the garden and are just trying to figure out what is going on. Out of everything on this list, this one is the absolute best at building tension, but the cartoony graphics keep the horror elements from getting completely overwhelming. What's fascinating about all of these is that the thing keeping you playing isn't actually fear. It's the gap between what you know and what you almost know. Cozy horror works because it makes the dark feel approachable, giving you just enough light to see by and just enough shadow to keep going.